boat on the way to Manaus, and we are finally on the Amazon. In this week's episode, we get to know the life on the river from a ferry as we visit towns and cities between Belém and Manaus. We see how cargo is moved between the towns, and we get an opportunity to donate gift bags to needy people living far away from towns and cities. Keep watching. I thought we were on a big river, but now we're on a really big river. Let's see what the day brings. Hopefully today we can do a bit of a tour of the boat. Currently it's full, very full. I only have access to the toilets and our patio where the trash is being collected to be taken off the boat. Yeah, let's see what the day brings. We started seeing more and more enormous transport ferries and barges as we were now on the Amazon River, connecting the sea to Manaus. There was a whole transport system on the river, something we have never seen before.
I'm going to take you on a tour on the San Marino the Third. Unfortunately, it's upside down. We are on the bottom floor, lodged at the exit because we can't fit in.
Enjoy!
First floor is mostly cars, then the second floor is hammocks where people stay.
To take our van off the ferry at some of the towns so that goods and vehicles could be loaded off. At some places it was not that easy as the riverbank was soft sand. Here the van had to get some help from the men making a living from moving cargo on and off the ferries. It was fascinating to see how much cargo gets moved by hand or by using very basic equipment like diggers. It was dangerous work. We quickly learned to have great respect for the men working in the heat and humidity. But our patio got cleared from the farm equipment and the big green boat, so we had a lot more space after this stop. Corinne had no problems getting the van back on the ferry as she could pick up speed to make it up the ramp. We then started wrapping up the gift bags that we were donating, wrapping them up in waterproof bags so that we could throw the gifts off the boat as we passed small remote houses and villages.
So this is not a lot, but it's something.
What's in there?
2 packs of pads for lady or girl and a sticker.
Keep a sharp eye open for the right villages with females in boats. We had to be quick, and Corinne got to practice her throwing arm. Although the ferry wasn't moving fast, we had a very short time to make sure the right person received our gift bags. However, The recipients were all eager and paddled out to receive the gifts. We appreciated our position at the front of the ferry as we were given the most beautiful sunsets as we slowly cruised up the Amazon. We could put out our chairs and do some bird watching when the ferry was close to the riverbanks. We were surprised to see a large amount of cattle farming all along the banks, but we were a bit disappointed with the lack of bird life along the riverbanks. Good morning. It's third morning on the boat. We're in the middle of the Amazon and there is an enormous city here called Santarém. It's 4:30, very early up this morning. We'll probably to remove the cars from the boat again as they need to offload some other cars. But it's a very noisy early morning. Therefore, it was time for Karim to do the vehicle shuffle again, taking the van off the ferry, wait for the other vehicles to be removed or to be loaded back on. We started calling this the vehicle shuffle, as it happened quite a few times during the trip. This was the only negative to be parked on the front ramp of the ferry, but it was still our preferred location. Then she could load the van back on the ferry. We were amazed at the size of the harbour at Santarém and the size of the city. We could not explore the city as we were not sure how long the ferry would stay moored at the harbour. This was also the first time we saw the confluence of two rivers, where the waters of the rivers do not mix. You can see a clear line between the two colours of the water, where the water meet. Challenge of the day, Karim needs to move the car from here into a space like this on that side, and it's very tight. Okay, here come I go. This was the biggest driving challenge Karim has faced, and it needed finesse and a steady hand. At the end, she managed it easily under difficult circumstances.
Good morning. It is day 5
of our time on the ferry. Our patio was taken over, like we showed you yesterday, and through the night a lot has happened while I was asleep. Lots of cars have left, but our patio is still blocked. So far so good. We think it's going to be another day and a half, so in total I've been told my framing is incorrect. We think it's going to be another day and a half, so in total we think it might be 6 nights and 5 days on the river. But so far it's been very enjoyable. I'm not bored yet.
Neither. I prefer this to a bus ride. You've got more freedom. It's nice. It's a different point of view.
I enjoyed seeing the life on the river and how ingenious people are to do stuff without any big machines. And I've often wondered, how does things get into the middle of nowhere? And now we've seen in real life how things get into the middle of nowhere. Generators, pumps, weed eaters, all sorts of essentials getting into the smaller towns along the river. So the journey continues. Manaus, here we come. Time for a shower, because if it gets too cold, because it's cold water, we are not in the mood for showers, so the sooner I shower, the better. So between all the cars is our shower. Lucky for me, it's on the same level, and I thought I'd show you the facilities. Doesn't look like too much, but for me, this is one of the only showers in South America where the door is wide enough for me to fit through. Normally the doors are too narrow for the wheelchair. So for me this is a major plus. Normally I cannot get my chair in the shower. I always ask for a plastic chair, and this time luckily there was a plastic chair on the boat so I could sit in the shower. Oh yeah, and the toilet and the shower is always in the same room for some reason. Yeah. So yeah, time for the shower. It's going to be great. Get the stickiness off, because even though it's not hard, it's quite humid, so you do tend to get quite sticky even with the cold water is always a shock to the system, but at least here we have a problem with the pressure. Well worth it, and now I need to head for a day or two. We are going to shower a few times on the boat, because most of the showers didn't have that pressure, so it's well worth it. And it is day 5 on the river, on the ferry between Bellem and Manaus, and this morning should be our last morning. Through the night things have changed again while we were asleep. We have our patio back, so we have a better view than the last few days, and we should be in Manaus, I don't know, anytime between now and maybe tomorrow, this evening. I think originally they said we will be there this evening, but we have a great view of the river. Morning, sweetie pie. We have quite a lot of traffic on the river this morning. As we get closer to Manaus, we are seeing a lot more and a lot bigger ferries. For those travelling with pets, dogs were allowed on the ferry, but they had to be kept in the cages most of the time and only let out to do their pooing and peeing. And then we saw Manaus in the distance as we got closer and closer. We really loved our time on the river. It was a fascinating experience. I would recommend it to anyone wanting to make this journey. The cost was 4,100 Brazilian reals for this leg of the journey, and that was working through an agent. We later learned that if you contact the boats directly, you will pay about half that price, but it was worth every cent. Welcome to Manaus, in the middle of the jungle. Karina has the task of getting the car out from this very tight spot. And because it is very high, we cannot go under the roof. So she got it in there. I'm sure she'll be able to get it out. Let's see how it goes. Karim's experience in the vehicle shuffle paid off, as getting the van out of the tight spot was very difficult, but she managed it with ease. Then she drove off the San Marino 3 for the last time. We were very thankful to the crew of the boat. They treated us great. They were considerate and went out of their way to make the journey fun and comfortable. Thank you, San Marino 3. We then had to get back into driving mode. The harbour was crowded, chaotic and busy, and it took a few tight turns to get us out. But we were eager to start our next adventure. In our next episode, we'll learn about the history of Manaus and the indigenous people. We explore the Amazon north of Manaus and stay at Lagoa Azul. and then we try to get on the next ferry.
The little situation.
Well, they said we're going to leave after 7. But we forgot to ask them before when. So now it's close to 1 o'clock in the morning.
But that's a story for another time, so please remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on future adventures. Thank you for our Patreons for making these videos possible.